All right, let's take a look at what's involved in game planning on for you to become a $100,000 earner and above, or top producer, a star. So game plan to become a 100K earner. How can you do that? Now, you could say income, or to become the best, to get the top of your whatever arena you're trying to compete in. All of these things, there's ingredients, and they all work off of a thing called activity. What do you do? Your activity. Now, the things that make up your activity spiral off of other things. And so they all work together to turn you into someone who is that valuable. Now, what they are, they work like this. It comes from knowledge. You got to know what to do. Then you've got to have a schedule that allow you to get the things done you want to do. Then you have to, from the knowledge, working, you build up a certain skill set. And these skills allow you to use your activity where you can be the most productive. And then the other thing that evolves from this is experience. See, experience is something you can only get from working, from taking your knowledge, working. You first go, you get your knowledge. Then from that, you get a schedule. You start seeing people, and you get better and better and better at it, developing how you work most effective. Then from that, see, all of this allows you to be more productive with your activity. Then from your schedule, what happens as a natural result, you develop your skills. These are yours. Nobody can ever take them from you. But as your skills go, your activity becomes more effective. Then from the skills, what also gets developed is experience. And experience, you'll hear people say experience is the key to greatness. And when you have experience on top of knowledge and skills, experience allows you, this is a wisdom factor. It allows you to develop your instincts. And so you're not just doing things by the book that you might do with knowledge. You're doing that, but your instincts tells you what to look for that maybe not, be things that would be a wrong, suspicious, wrong, time wasting type things. You can kind of smell slumps coming or see disasters coming quicker down the road because you got experience. And in the beginning with knowledge and just working as getting started, these are things you're blind to. But from the schedule and developing your skills, you start to build the experience, and so you're familiar with these things. So all of these things kind of go round and round and help grow the center. So let's look over here and say this is how you are when you start. When you start, if we look at this thing of here's where I'm starting, and I want to progress. And we've used this example before and other things. I want to grow. I want to be. I don't want just somebody to give me the job. I've got to grow into it. I want to be a 100K earner. Not because I got a salary, not because I brown nosed somebody. No, I earned it. You could stick me anywhere and I'm going to the top because I have become that kind of person. I know how to go about it. I've got knowledge, schedule, skills, experience I can use. Stick me in any company and I'm going to move to the top because I know how to get it done. So in the beginning, here's how it goes. You have this baby kind of, pitiful, very unexpected. You got this kind of activity, little bitty activity. Then you've got knowledge. It takes you just a little bit to get that knowledge going. And then your schedule in the beginning is pathetic because you really don't know how to get a schedule. You don't know how to start on time. You don't know how to start with a bang. You don't know how to end with a bang. You don't know how to pick yourself up. You don't know how to recognize schedules when they're coming. You don't know how to handle the first of the month, the end of the month. And scheduling, you just don't have any feet. You haven't done it before. And then the skills, again, how can you have skills when you've started? So your skills are essentially non-existent. And then your experience is zero. You know, you have zero experience, but every time you go out there, you start to build. And so your experience is nothing. So here you are, inky-dinky doing along. And in companies, in business, you get paid for what you accomplish. It's hard for you to accomplish things with your little bit of activity because of what you've got to work with. But the exciting thing is you can turn this around very fast. In fact, there's a thing about, the thing of, I don't have any experience, and I'm going to get somebody who has like 10 years experience. Well, not everybody's 10 years of experience is not the same as everybody else's. You might have somebody who's been in the business 1 year, and they've got 5 to 10 times more experience in doing things because they've been busier than the guy who's just been laying around there for 10 years. This guy may have been around 10 years, but he might have what we call 1 year of experience 10 times. So even if people are in front of you, they look like they're in front, you can catch them fast if you'll dive in and develop these 4 things over here. And if you concentrate on growing your knowledge and build, you'll progress through this thing, and eventually your activity is going to be off the charts better, more productive than when you started, because number one, you know so much more. I mean, you have more knowledge in your little finger than you had in your whole body when you got started. And your schedule, people get around you and they cannot believe how much you get done. And you're looking at them like, well, this is just the way, it's the way I do it. And then the skill set, things that other people struggle with, are just, you don't even think. You can do it automatic because you've worked on them. You've developed them. It comes easy for you. It's just like Paul Goydos, who is a professional golfer, said about, he's a small guy, kind of a slump-shouldered, and makes fun of himself quite a bit. He's done pretty well on the tour, made a living. And he said, me and Tiger Woods, we're not that much different. He said, if you give us any given shot, Tiger sets up there to hit it. He hits it. I set up to hit it. Our shots are going to be pretty much the same all the way through. He said, Tiger's not that much better than me, but he said in about 1,000 areas, he's a little bit better than I am. And if you take being a little bit better in 1,000 different areas, he said that adds up to a whole lot more wins for Tiger than it does for me. So that's a lot of times you don't see these skills don't show up dramatically until you get into doing it. Because let's face it, anything you do in life, there's a lot of things involved, and it takes time and knowledge and work to develop it. And then from that, the experience. Once you've been out there, you've developed these instincts. All of this skills and all this stuff builds your experience. Pretty soon, you've got this huge just data bank of experiences to draw on. You can see things coming faster than anybody else. You can save time. You can get more out of your schedule. And, because of that, your knowledge continues to grow. You get better and better at your schedule, and your skills go. So this is how people at the top can crush the competition. Their activity, when they work, they get so much done because they're feeding off the elements are their knowledge, going into their schedule, going into their experience, and it just never ends. This is why people at the top continue to move better and better and better. It seems like you can never catch them. As long as they're diving into their activity and they're staying on track, they're going to continue to grow and develop, and all you can do is chase them and wait for that time where they get tired and they take a break, and then maybe you can catch them. But all of this builds. You're not going to be $100,000 earners until you have the knowledge, the schedule, the skills, and the experience that lets you become that earner. But if you dive in and you cram as much activity as you can, you go with what you've got. You don't worry about what you don't have. But if you stay here and say, I'm going to use what I've got, and I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm not going to worry, because there's no way I can have all this stuff until I'm there. I've got to go with what I've got, keep moving forward, keep pushing it, and eventually I'm going to be over here. I'm going to fight my way through it as fast as possible, and eventually you'll be there. And you'll be there because you got the knowledge, you got the schedule, you got the skills, you got the experience. You have grown, you have developed, you have become the star. That's the game plan for becoming a $100,000 earner, moving to the top of your profession.